Highly tuned classic sports and GTs head away for the first hairpin on the Wellington waterfront. These are magnificent cars, and they're going down towards the hairpin now. It's by far and away the biggest field of races lined up here for this Nissan Mobile Sport Weekend in Wellington. All sorts of cars, all sorts of shapes and sizes, and they just start to sort themselves out on the first lap as they get to the hairpin. There they go through. There it's Andrew Whittaker in the TVR that'll lead them through from Roger Townsend in the Ford, and the rest of the field just banking up all safely so far. Getting through that hairpin, they'll just have to take it easy. A couple of cars side by side through there as we watch them come through so far. Everybody safe and sound through there. Digby Pape with me, a Cobra and Porsche winner in this class, but having a weekend off to watch the action. Digby, have a look at some of the form of some of these drivers.
Well, Andrew Whittaker's going to run away with this in his lightweight TVR, but watch Roger Townsend in his Ford Escort with the 2-litre motor, putting out 260 horsepower. This car really flies, and it's ahead of the Morgan Plus 8 of Mike Booth in the black car. And watch the next car behind it. That's the Ford Mustang of Rick Cooper from Taupo. 289, about 500 horsepower. Now we're on Paul Pannell. He sold this car 3 years ago, the MGB V8. He drives terrifically well, and this car has no right to keep up with the lightweight Corvette of Kevin Gill in front of him. A 350 Chevrolet powered Corvette with this tiny little MGB doing the absolute best for Britain. And look at it, he's taken him on the inside.
After 2 laps of the MTA Drive Car Classic Sports and GTs, Andrew Whittaker with a reasonably comfortable lead over Mike Booth in the magnificently prepared Morgan. In third place, car 73, Roger Townsend, the Ford Escort, and another Ford holding on to fourth place. That's Rick Cooper. Rick Cooper's followed by Sefton Gibb.
Well, we're seeing three-wheel motoring from the Escort, and we're seeing the Morgan of Mike Booth here, cornering extremely flatly and seems to suit this circuit. It looks very controllable and nice to be able to see the driver actually working as you can look right into the cockpit.
Looking at the third place car come on Jervois Key, down past the start-finish line going towards the tight right-hander, the hairpin just on Custom House Key in Wellington. Around they go. You get an idea there of just how very close Roger Townsend is getting to Andrew Whittaker in the TVR.
Now, Mike Booth's Morgan V8, it only weighs 900 kilograms, has 300 horsepower. The TVR probably about 400 horsepower and weighs less, and that's why it's ahead. But the Escort's power-to-weight ratio is excellent as well. This looks like Winston Wrigley about to be overtaken.
This is going to make the race rather interesting now, the second place car, and we just watch him throw that Escort through the corners. Magnificent racing. He really is putting on a show, Roger Townsend. As Digby mentioned, the former Paul Adams rally Escort, so the car knows how to go sideways on its own. But we look at him working, absolutely working frantically inside that car as he pulls on the wheel, hauls it round, and he's got the leader in his sights. Roger Townsend in second position, throwing the Escort through the corners, chasing the first car, the number 10 car, the TVR of Andrew Whittaker, getting past some of the slower traffic. He's got a Mini just to his left. He manages to slide past that one all right, hauls the car around. This is exciting racing in the MTA Drive Card Classic Sports and GTs. In practice, Andrew Whittaker absolutely dominated it and grabbed pole position quite comfortably as we see one of the cars go straight ahead, the unforgiving Wellington waterfront concrete wall. Bang! 175 hits it very, very solidly, and that won't be going anywhere. Paul Tunnell. Let's have a look at this little mistake now by the 175 car. Paul Tunnell going wide, just shutting the door a little bit on Roger Townsend by the looks of things, brushes him, it sets him up for the wrong line and straight into the wall, so he was actually blocking the door, shutting the gap on the second place car. He was about to be overtaken. Looking at the race leader coming down, and Roger Townsend still keeping him within his sights. That's the first place car, Andrew Whittaker, and watch Roger Townsend and the ex-Paul Adams Escort. Here they come. He's got a good line here now. He could take it. Inside line, and he touches. He's thrown in against the wall. He gets out of it okay, but that was very, very tight. It looked for a moment there as though he's going to move into first place.
Well, he loses momentum coming out of that corner when he comes to a dead stop, and he'll have to work the rest of the lap to get back onto Andrew Whittaker's tail. Let's see if he can do it.
That cost Roger Townsend, that's for sure. Here's the race leader, Andrew Whittaker. Roger Townsend now back. Just dropped off a little bit after that little incident at the hairpin.
They're lapping John Donovan's Sylvia Striker, an English kit car. And there are about 4 of these in the country, and here he is just round the outside of
Let's have a look at that replay again. We see the lead car, Townsend taking the inside line, getting the door shut on him once again, squeezed out of that place, and he actually brushed against the tyres at the hairpin. So he really is going to have to start working overtime inside the Escort now. It's fascinating to see these pictures and him working inside the car. Onto Jervois Key comes the race leader, Andrew Whittaker, in the TVR, sustaining a lot of pressure from Roger Townsend, but Roger Townsend not quite being able to bring the Ford Escort home in first place. He has to be content with second place, and Mike Booth behind them for third place. Rick Cooper in another Ford was in fourth place. Sefton Gibb finished fifth, and Bruce Anderson in one of the Pine Pack cars finished sixth.